ESPN doesn't have USFL, but they have
What is up? What is good, everybody? Happy Memorial Day. Welcome to the Dream Wager episode 274. This is Monday, May 29th, 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock. And joining me, our NBA guru, partner in crime. No better time to have him for Game 7. Elvis Acosta, how are you doing today, sir? You're on mute, kid.
Oh, that's crazy. You muted me. Happy Memorial Day to all the people out there celebrating the lovely holiday. We live on this lovely Monday morning, people. Game 7, like Dylan said. You know how people always say no two better worse in sports than Game 7? I'm gonna have to say the Super Bowl, but Game 7 is up there.
Yeah, that's fair. Super Bowl's up
And
there.
I'll be honest, I'd rather watch a conference championship than a Game 7 too.
Yeah, football's a little different because there's no series, but yeah, Game 7s are pretty fun. Like Elvis said, we got a loaded episode for you guys today. We got some plays on the diamond we'll talk about real quick. Game 7 tonight, Heat at the Garden. And yeah, so it should be only a few things to talk about today. But before we do that, Elvis, Game 6, Saturday night. What a game. And I really don't blame the coaches. I blame Stan Van Gundy. He fucking jinxed it. He jinxed it. He said, "Oh, watch this. You can't let the inbounder get loose." And who got the putback? Derek White, the rebounder. Just box someone out. It's not that hard. And I knew it was fucked from the beginning when they put the camera on Jimmy Butler and he goes, "One more stop." I said, they ain't getting to stop now. So what a game, 103-102. Derek White, if you don't 104-103, excuse me. If you don't know about Derek White, you know now. What a game he had. And I think, I want to get your opinions on the game, but Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, when you go combined, what was it? It was 9 for 36, 9 for 37, and you're up 1? Don't tell me. And it's the whole conspiracy thing. Everyone's like, oh, Joe Mazzulla's a good coach. They got him back from 3. It's not Joe Mazzulla. Let's stop this. It's Eric Spoelstra. They're saying Joe Mazzulla is out coaching Eric Spoelstra in those 3-game stretch. And I go, what are we watching? They shot 9 for 37 and they were up 1 with a chance to win the game. That's coaching. That's Eric Spoelstra. So if anyone, we could blame Van Gundy and Duncan Robinson. Those 2 missed threes, man. Holy shit.
Making the case that it's Stan Van Gundy's fault, got it.
Yeah.
That's you got.
I mean, he's a bozo he's the all-time musher. You can't mush things like that. So I don't know. He had an opportunity to win. They let it go, and I don't think it's the coaching that is the reason for this comeback. We said it from the beginning. They're the most talented team on paper. So they should honestly have won this series in 5. There was a couple games that they should have won. I don't think it comes down to coaching. I think it comes down to they just have 2 of the best pure scorers on the court. And who do they have? Jimmy Butler. That's about it. So
who didn't show up Saturday.
So that's my thing, and we're still a chance to win. But I do think he did come on late. The last 3 minutes, 4 minutes, he did come on.
But you started the game 1 for 8 in a closeout opportunity on your home court when you guarantee to win.
Yeah, and he's also guaranteeing game win for Game 7. So what'd you think of Game 6 before we get to Game 7?
Still, it was a fantastic game. It was a game of stretches. It wasn't really like Boston did have their moments in the game when I was like, oh yeah, Boston just took control of the game. But Miami kept fighting back, like you alluded to earlier. When Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo go combined 9 for 36, and you're in position to win that game, you have to win that game. Because the fact that Bam and Jimmy shot so poorly, and you had a 1-point lead with 3 seconds left, Dill. And let's talk about that last play, Dill. You said it, Stan. You also said Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson did miss 2 wide open 3-pointers. So I'll go with Duncan Robinson a little bit, Dill. But we got to give credit because that play was kind of designed up, Dill. I don't know if you noticed. Derek White crashed the boards, and then Jason Tatum came from the other side. So
well, they blocked out Jason Tatum. They doubled him off the rip, and Smart just chucked it.
I'm talking about when the shot, like it was designed. As soon as the ball's in the air, you break to the rim. And Jason Tatum came from the right, and Derek White came from the left. If this just a bounce, a weird bounce to the middle, the game is over. The fact that it bounced right to Derek White with 0.2,
something like that.
You can't make that shit up, Dill. So it was a heartbreaking loss to Miami. Give credit to Boston, Dill, but that's what you call luck. Yeah. You know, you can't script that. You can't, like, if the ball bounces any other way, Miami's are in the finals. We're talking about game 1. Right now, we're talking about game 1. If the ball just bounces any other way, Dill, so I'm not gonna blame nobody. I'm gonna just blame they got lucky, Dill. They just simply got lucky because that ball bounces any other direction. Really, you not having this conversation, Dill. So give the Boston Celtics credit for executing the play because you could tell as soon as the shot went up, Jason Tatum went to the right, Derek White went to the left. They were both crashing the boards, Dill.
They had no option. I don't know if it was designed, and that's going back to my point.
I'm not sure if it was designed for Marcus Smart to shoot, but the way
it definitely wasn't. And my thing is
the way it looked, he shot it with
conviction. It looked good. I thought he actually hit it.
No, but the way he shot it, it was meant for him.
I just don't think it comes down to coaching because if it did, they went scoreless. They couldn't figure out the zone defense for that was their first field goal in the last 4 minutes of the game for the Boston Celtics.
Dill, I don't know why everybody's talking about coaching so much. Like, to me, like, you
know, because you're not on Twitter as much, but on Twitter, everyone's saying Spoelstra's the most overrated coach. Joe M is out coaching Spoelstra. And I'm sitting here, am I delusional? Am I watching something that's different? Spoelstra's a much better coach.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Coach Spo is a top 3 coach. He might not be 3. But Dill, the only reason this is, I don't be on Twitter, so I'm just giving you my point of view from that, what you just told me. The only reason I can honestly say people are saying that is because they're witnessing this dude possibly making history. That's the only reason I can honestly believe they're saying that. Because Coach Spo is a better coach. It's just they're the better team. The Celtics are the better team. They have 2 All-NBA players, you know. So I gotta give him credit, Dill, because he is coming back from 3-0.
But is it him? It's not him. I don't think it's the team.
Yeah, I agree. I'm agreeing with you, Dill. I'm just saying I'm giving you an insight, my opinion of why they think that. You know, yeah. I don't agree.
It just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like,
but you know, those same people, Dill, were probably telling the world he should be fired after game 3.
Everyone's just forgetting about how they went down 0-3. Like this Miami team, we were fading them this whole year. They almost got eliminated in the play-in game. Like, what are we talking about? They're just discrediting the fact that, we almost got swept by an 8th seed, but now they're coming back and they're like, Joe M, he's the best coach. You know, he saved his job. I might be crazy.
I did tell you, I said I've been staying on it. Even after game 3, I said he's not losing his job regardless. We already got a bet on that. And I was like, he's not losing his job.
I still think he might lose it, even if he does lose it tonight.
He will be the Celtics head coach in 2024, 2025. Trust me.
He ain't the guy for the job. Let's just say that.
I agree with you. Eric Spoelstra is a better coach. Joe Mazzulla, he's a pretty good coach still. I'm not gonna disagree or agree with you on that point, but if they win tonight, he will be the only coach in NBA history to come back down from 3-0. You can't take that away from him.
No, I'm not.
That's all I'm saying is, Dill, I do agree with you. Coach Spo is the better coach.
They just make some very questionable things.
Out coach in this series. he just has a knife in a gunfight. Because the
Yeah.
Celtics are loaded. Celtics were favored to win the series down 2-0.
That's the thing. You were favorite. I think the Heat. I think I saw in the beginning of the playoffs, like when the play-in, they were like 60-1 to come out of the East, and now they're in a position to cash those tickets. Maybe I'm a little biased because I have a Heat to win this series. I got it at plus 500, but
Might be a little biased though. You panicking.
nah, it's not that. It's just like you had every opportunity to win the game. I honestly don't think the Celtics are, on paper, like you said, they're clearly the better team. You could be blind and still see that. But they're not playing better, I don't think. Maybe the last couple games they have been, but I don't know. I just think, I don't know why I'm making such a big fuss about the coaching. I just don't think Joe Mazzulla is a good coach at all, to be honest.
That's crazy, Dill. That's crazy.
He has all the tools. If you told me in the beginning before the thing was we would say Boston in 5. Maybe Heat win a game because Jimmy goes off, Bam goes off. They win a game in Miami, but on paper, this should have never went 7 at all.
Dill, on paper, the Bucks should have won in 5 as well.
Well, Giannis was hurt, so there was injuries. This team, you could say Tyler. You could say Tyler Hero was hurt, but this Miami team seems to move the ball much better without Tyler Hero. That's all I'm saying.
At the end of the day, he's a catch and shoot. He can't facilitate the ball like these other dudes, like Gabe Vincent, like Kyle Lowry, like Jimmy Butler. Those are all true guards. Hero's just a straight shooter. He catches, he shoots. He takes a dribble left, he shoots.
Very interesting to see the future for Joel moving forward. But I did cash the +3. Derek White over 2.5 threes cashed as well. That's every game this series he's hit. Who I really wanted. I was so close to taking the Heat money line +120, +122, something along those lines at home. They almost did it. I think everyone was like in disbelief at first. Everyone was like, at first I thought he didn't get it, but then when they showed the replay, I was like, oh shit, he got that clean.
To be honest, I told you yesterday, I was at a barbecue. It was like 6 of us watching it on my phone. And I was the only one that said they lost. Like, Celtics just won. And then everybody saw the replay, was like, no way. Because I saw the ball go in. And not for nothing, 8 out of 10 times, the ball goes in, they won. They're going to get it off. There's times where there's like a half-court heave and it's still on his fingertips. But when the ball's under the rim, 9 out of 10 times, the ball is, they know. They just, real quick, they just tip it in, So... You got to give the Celtics credit, though. You got to give the Celtics credit. If Miami would have boxed out and then, for example, just got a foul call and then they make 2 free throws to win the game, then I'll be like, I agree with you. But Dill, they didn't even box out. Tatum at the rim. Derek White at the rim.
Not enough bodies down low. You got everyone crashing because it was their last chance, and then...
Everybody literally looked at the ball, Dill. To be honest, if I'm on the floor... Marcus Smart shoots that, I'm probably looking at the ball too. It's 3 seconds left, people.
And what's the thing with hashtag NBA is rigged, but there was 2.8 seconds when Jimmy got fouled. Yes.
So on the live clock, Jimmy Butler got fouled at 2.1. The clock kept going after the foul call a few tenths of a second. They reviewed it before the foul shots, and they said he got fouled at 3 seconds, not at 2.1 seconds. So they added a 0.9 on the clock.
Coincidentally, hashtag NBA is rigged.
That's all I'm saying, people. I'm not saying it's rigged or not. All I'm saying is they reviewed it, and they're saying the foul occurred with 3 seconds left. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well... Everything's in front of them now. Game 7 tonight. Do or die. Jimmy's not going to come off the court tonight, so I can't wait for it. Before we get to our plays and baseball plays, Elvis, little NFL news coming out this week. A few months ago, DeAndre Hopkins said he wanted to be traded, and it kind of went like not unnoticed, but no one really talked about it. No one was talking like where he would end up. And then all of a sudden, about 3 days ago, they said, screw it. Like, we're just going to release you. They released DeAndre Hopkins. He had 2 years left on his contract. He did go on, I think it was I Am Athlete podcast the other day or a few weeks ago, and he named the top quarterbacks that he wanted to play with. And apparently the
Best
front
quarterback.
what happened?
The best quarterbacks in the league. Who wouldn't want to play with them?
Exactly. It was funny though. I don't know if you saw the video, but when they asked about Dak Prescott, he was like I mean, I agree, but now they're saying the front runners, obviously Bills, Chiefs. It's interesting. They said don't rule out Cleveland. I think Cleveland will make a call. Him get reunited with Deshaun Watson. I think that's very interesting as well. But I think he'll get signed. I think it's going to be tough for a team like the Bills or the Chiefs to sign him because they don't really have enough money to sign a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, maybe for 1 or 2 years, but not a long-term deal like he wants. But what are you looking at? What do you think of him getting released, and where do you see D-Hop possibly ending up before the start of the season?
Still, I think the writing was on the wall a little bit, to be honest. Let's just be real. Kyler Murray and that offense,
they're in a rebuild.
It's a bonfire. Let's just be honest. You fired your head coach. They're in a complete rebuild with a top. Think about it though. You're going into a complete rebuild a year after you give your franchise quarterback 240. I think he got 240.
And he has to study more.
$100 million. You give him a 5-year deal to over $200 million, and the year following you're in a rebuild. That's not a good sign, people. They lost JJ Heap to retirement. They traded Christian Kirk. They got Hollywood Brown deal, but besides that, I can't really.
He was hurt too.
Yeah, so depleted offense, depleted defense, they'll complete real rebuilding. Why D-Hop want to be a part of that, especially in this stage of his career. He only got another 2, maybe 3 solid years left, and maybe like a fourth one, maybe. He's 31, though. He's a little older now. How many more?
He's still, I think, a top 10 when healthy.
Yeah,
and I think Arizona was kind of mad. Like after the suspension, they were mad at him for not playing when healthy.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, why would I go out there and give him my all on a team that's not going to be able to compete in the playoffs?
Because you signed a contract.
I understand that, Dill, but at the end of the day, I didn't sign up to go under 500. I didn't sign up for a rebuild, So that's one thing I agree with that on him. Now, what teams do I honestly? There's a difference between him wanting to be on a team and what's realistic. So me, realistically, I could possibly see the Patriots being in there because he does have a little connection with Bill Belichick. Realistically, the Browns, just because I know they have the cap space, have a little bit of room. And Dill, another team you got to throw out there is somebody like what these young quarterbacks. You might Panthers, Chicago might give them a call. Texans might give them a call. Reunite back to the Texans, Dill, because some of these young quarterbacks are going to need that veteran wide receiver to help him down the line. So why not? Especially if he's looking on a long-term deal. All these young quarterback teams, Chicago, Panthers, Texas, all got a ton of cap room, Dill. So if he's looking to get paid, I'm sure they will happily pay him. But if he's looking to win now and looking to take a 1 or 2 year deal on the friendly money, maybe Chiefs, maybe the Bills, hey, maybe look at your Jets, Dill. Honestly, I don't think the Jets got any more money, but
no, we got room. We cut Corey Davis. We actually have more money than the Chiefs and Bills. And I was going to say the Jets,
Chiefs
but
over the salary cap, to be honest, because
yeah,
they got too many pieces, and they just signed that fucking offensive tackle for like $80 million, and then a dark horse still. I'll see the Rams. Just because we saw the success, I know you don't look at me like that. We saw the success when Cooper Kupp had that star number 2 in Odell Beckham. Hey, they get D-Hop. Hey, maybe that offense flourishes again.
Yeah, I don't know. A couple of the teams, like you said, if he doesn't want to care about winning and he just wants the money, then yeah, you could go to these young teams. But I think you're right in the sense that he's in the point of his career where he wants to win now. He's done all that rebuild stuff. So, Jets, Chiefs, Bills, even the Ravens. I know they drafted a wide receiver. They got Odell Beckham. They signed Lamar, but You put him with those running backs, you put him with Mark Andrews, that's going to be a tough
Yeah, but
offense.
I think he wants the ball more. And then with Odell, Zay
He would be their number one.
No, he wouldn't.
Who would be? Odell?
Mark Andrews, number one.
Okay, but I'm talking about like true receivers, like obviously Mark Andrews, but he would be their number one. He's better than Mark Andrews. So
That's the thing. They got to build a connection. Like we know Mark Andrews is gonna. We go pencil him right now. 800 plus yards, 6 touchdowns, about 90 catches.
I think we could pencil that in because previous years they didn't really have anyone. Now, if you bring Odell in, you bring D-Hop in, I don't think he's going to get as much looks as we're accustomed to him seeing. So I just think like those 3 top teams, Chiefs, Bills, and everyone's like, oh, well, the Bills have a number one in Stephon Diggs, but we saw in the AFC Championship, they need more firepower to compete with the Chiefs. Divisional. So I think the Bills are up there. I think Josh Allen needs another weapon as well, even though we've always said it's the run game.
I think the Bills are kind of loaded though, because they got Gabriel, they got Stephon Diggs, and they did drafted Dawson Kincaid. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure they loaded. I don't think they'll go out and sign D-Hop,
But they're in a win now situation, and D-Hop will bring you to the next level.
Yeah, but I don't think they need that. They have what D-Hop and Diggs on opposite sides. They're gonna have to trade Gabriel. It has to be a signing trade then.
Well, he's a free agent.
They won't be able to keep all 3. That's what I'm saying.
I think he could sign him for a year, 2 years.
Yeah, but we just agreed that D-Hop not gonna take. He wants a long-term deal. That's what I'm saying.
If you talk to him and be like, hey, I'll give you a 2-year contract. We'll see if it works out. You'll get your money, but we're in a win now. I can't give you 4 years, $30 million a year.
That's why I said realistically, which is realistic and then which one is, has a chance. That's why I picked.
Yeah, if he's serious about winning, he would go to a contender like those teams that we mentioned.
But if a team like the Panthers offer you, let's just say a 3-year, $70 million, he's not going to turn that down.
I think he's a fool then if he takes that, because you're never going to win.
Right. Still, some of these players, it's not about winning.
But then why do you come out and say it's all about winning a championship? I think everyone's goal at the end of the day is to win a championship in some shape or form. He didn't win one in college.
Still, if it really was, you'll see a ton of these, just a lot of these star players take a 1-year deal, 5, like Tom Brady deal. Tom Brady was never the highest paid quarterback because he wanted to win. Mm-hmm. That's the difference, though.
A lot of people are throwing out the Eagles too, and I don't really know about if the Eagles are a dark horse.
They got any money left?
No. Well, we talk about this every year, where it's like, oh, where are all these people coming up with the money? And I'm convinced people just print money, and the salary cap doesn't exist. So
it does exist.
All these people just they'll restructure their contract, and then they'll free up $16 million. Be like, oh yeah, we just got $16 million out of the blue, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, we'll go sign DeAndre Hopkins now. So that's exactly what we did with Corey Davis and the Jets. Like we gave it all of his contract into like a signing bonus. We freed up $17 million. But I don't think the Jets are going to go after him just because we have to pay Quentin Williams, and I think that's a priority right now. So yeah, it will be interesting to see where D-Hop goes. I think he is a top 10 receiver in the league when healthy, and all the distractions off the field. I think he'd be a good fit, and I think he'd help a contender, especially like the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. I don't know why I can't get off that, but I really like him in Baltimore with Lamar. Even like a team like the Detroit Lions. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, DeAndre Hopkins.
Honestly, that makes sense as well, just because Williams is suspended the first six games.
Yep.
Or half the season.
Marvin Jones they have.
Marvin Jones Jr. is on the Jaguars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But they still got Brown, Jameson Williams. They still got a good lineup,
Yeah, and help out my boy Jared Goff.
I would. Damn, honestly.
That's not bad. And he also mentioned on the I Am Athlete podcast, he mentioned Justin Herbert, but I don't think. I mean that offense, he would go crazy with Keenan
Nah, but
Allen,
they
Mike
drafted
Williams.
wide receiver. Unless,
Yeah, the young kid from TCU. I know, but
unless
mm,
they release Mike Williams or Keenan Allen.
I think at the end of the day, they're getting to the tail end
Yeah, but to
of.
be honest, is DeAndre Hopkins that much of a level up over Mike Williams or Keenan Allen at this stage? Honestly,
I think maybe not Mike Williams. I think Mike Williams is a young guy and he's really good. Keenan Allen is always getting hurt.
no,
I
I agree
think
with you. But when they're both at their healthiest,
I would
it's
take DeAndre Hopkins.
I know, but it's not like a major. It's not like Keenan Allen still could give you 1,000-yard seasons. When healthy, when
Yeah.
healthy.
That's the big one. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see where D Hop goes, and hopefully he gets on a team before training camp starts. I know
Yeah, hopefully by
OTAs.
the month. Yeah,
Yeah,
because as soon as July hits, it's over. It's a set camp.
yeah,
All second week of August, what Hall of Fame game, right? Second week.
yeah. It's and the Jets are playing in the Hall of Fame game, so
40 days away. We're 40 days away from football, people.
I can't wait. Yeah, we're like 20 something from college football as well. So don't worry when NBA and NHL go away, we got college, we got NFLs right around the corner. So will be interesting to see where D Hop goes. But Elvis, let's transition into our picks for today. We'll start on the diamond. We got a nice little 10-11 game slate for Memorial Day. A lot of day baseball, which I love. I hate every game starting at 7 o'clock. We will start with the 1 o'clock game in Baltimore. Orioles hosting the Cleveland Guardians. Orioles minus 136 at home on the money line, plus 116 for the Cleveland Guardians. Over under is at 8. Elvis, we'll start with you. What do you got?
Yo, give me the Baltimore Orioles on the money line. Minus 142, minus 145. Shop around wherever you can catch it at, Dill. I think Baltimore take care of business at home on this Memorial Day.
Yeah, I got to go with the Baltimore Orioles as well. I think this is a good series for them to pick it back up. They had a rough series against the Rangers. And the Guardians they really don't show me anything offensively that scares me. They're bottom 5 in all major categories on offense. So, Logan Allen, he's good, but this is only his third start. He's allowed 7 or more hits. So I think he's trending to have a blow up real soon. So I'm not going to overthink this one. I'll actually take the Orioles as well. Let's go to the next game. Detroit Tigers hosting the Texas Rangers, the one we just talked about. Rangers on the road, minus 176, plus 148 for the Detroit Tigers. Over under is at 8.5. Elvis, I'll actually lead this one off. I was able to grab the Rangers minus 1.5. I like that. I got it at minus 105. If you don't want to lay the juice, I actually like the Rangers team total over 4.5. This game came down to home and away splits. Nathan Eovaldi, he's been lights out on the road, 4-1 with a 1.66 ERA. 43 innings. He's only allowed 8 runs, 0 home runs. Batters only hitting 211 off of him. He's only allowed one run on the road this month. He's just been dealing. And on the other side, Matthew Boyd at home has yet to win a game, over an 8 ERA. His walks are high. Batters are hitting over 300 off of him. His last start at home, he gave up 5 runs to a Mariners team in just 1 inning. So Rangers, they're a top 5 offense. I think the Rangers scorched the Tigers today. So I'm going to take the Rangers on the run line, and I'm also going to take Rangers team total over 4.5. How about you?
So, every time Eovaldi's on the mound, I gotta lean with him, Dill. So I'm gonna taking the Rangers on the money line, minus 170. A little juicy, but Dylan just told you take them on the run line, Dill. So we all over them. Roll with the Rangers. Follow Dylan at minus 1.5, or you can follow your boy minus 170, a little safe.
All right, next game, St. Louis Cardinals hosting the Kansas City Royals. Cardinals minus 198 at home. If you want to take them on the run line, minus 1.5 is at minus 102. For the Royals, plus 166 on the money line, plus 1.5 is at minus 118. Over under is at 10. Wainwright, almost a $2 favorite. No, thank you.
It's like the good old days. It's like Chase Edmonds in center field, Dill.
He's bad though this year, man. I
I
cannot
understand,
back
but he's a
Wainwright.
$2 favorite. You better put some respect on the Hall of Famer now.
Yeah, that was back 10 years ago when I was in high school. Not anymore. Maybe first five over, but yeah, I can't back Wainwright. Royals, I'm not in the business of backing the Royals either. Cardinals, they are a good team at home. They hit 274 at home this year. The Royals actually put up some runs this week. You know, four or more runs in four straight games. They put up 10 runs against the Nationals and still lost. I think both pitchers could give up runs, so maybe an over in this game. How about you?
Still, I gotta lean with the St. Louis on this one on the run line, Dill. To be honest, at minus 107, you got the legendary Adam Wainwright. I understand, Dill. He got a 6 ERA, but he is 2-0, Dill. So the chances of him winning is high. You got to put some respect on his name, Dill. I'm gonna just lean in. No official play for me here, but the fact that Adam Wainwright's a $2 favorite, people, it might not happen again. So appreciate things like that.
Let's go out to the Windy City Chicago Cubs. Good matchup here. Cubs home puppies plus 102 with Marcus Stroman on the mound. Tampa Bay Rays minus 120. Taj Bradley going. Over under is at 8. I got an 8.5. I took that under. I still liked it under 8. Like I said, two good pitchers going here in Stroman and Bradley. I said it a few pods ago. I really like Taj Bradley and his stuff. I think he's going to be a good pitcher in the league one day. But Stroman at home, he's been really good this season. You know, he's only had one bad start at home against the Dodgers. But besides that game, he hasn't allowed 2 or more runs in 5 starts at home. Batters, they're only hitting 185 off of him as well. And Bradley, small sample size, but in 10 innings on the road, he's only allowed 2 runs, and batters are hitting 162 off of him. We got winds blowing in today as well. So I just think both pitchers are going to limit each other's lineups. I'll take the under in this game. How about you?
Dill, that's another matchup I'm staying away from, Dill. If Colorado's at home, at the end of the over-under at 10 is still pretty high, even in Arizona, Dill.
No, wrong game. Colorado, we're at Chicago and Tampa.
Oh, Chicago, tell my fault, Dill. Oh, this month, Dill, I ended up taking Tampa on the money line, Dill. Bradley's on the mound. Stroman, I understand Stroman's having a little bit of a comeback season, Dill, but it's still the Chicago Cubs, Dill. So give me Tampa, best team in baseball, minus 120 on the money line.
Now we will go out to the desert. Diamondbacks hosting the Rockies. Diamondbacks minus 198. Rockies plus 166 as the road underdog. Over under is at 9.5. I like the over 9.5. I think we see runs in this 2 games. 2 pitchers that you really don't want to be backing, in my opinion. Nelson at home has allowed 3 or more runs in 4 of his 5 starts, and every single start at home has gone over the number. When he's pitching, we're just seeing high-scoring games. You know, Carl Kaufman, he's only making his 3rd start of the season, but he's allowed 4 runs in his first game, 5 runs in his second game. These are the type of games we see when these two teams play each other. The first series back in April in Colorado, every game went over the number. So 2 solid hitting teams. I'll take the over 9.5 here. How about you?
So I'm going to lean the over as well, even though they're in Arizona. Like you said, 2 bad pitchers as well, Dill. But if anything, I'll lean Arizona minus the 1.5 on the run line at minus 105, Dill.
Yeah, I'll fake call.
Take Colorado on the road.
Yep. Another good matchup, I think. We have Houston hosting the Minnesota Twins. Astros with JP France on the mound, minus 122 at home. Sonny Gray on the road, plus 104. Over under is at 8. Whew, I'll take a shot here with the Twins at plus money. You know, hopefully we could get a little better of a number on the Twins. I would kind of wait until around game time, around 4 o'clock. I kind of want to see a little more out of JP France, especially at home. He's only had 1 start at home, and the Cubs scored 6 runs in 3 innings off of him. So kind of want to see a little more out of him. And Sonny Gray, he's kind of cooled down in the month of May. He's still pitching well, but he needs run support. The Twins are not hitting for him. If the Twins are able to get him 4 or 5 runs, I think they should be able to win this game. So I'll take a shot here with the Twins and the better pitcher in Sonny Gray. How about you?
Still, I understand away from this game. Though I do like this matchup. I think both pitchers could go out there and put out an outing. So I'll lean the under in Houston. If this game was in Minnesota, I would have taken Minnesota at home.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Sonny Gray at home is much better. He's good on the road, but he's much better at Target Field. I agree. Next game, San Francisco Giants hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates. Dick Mountain, Rich Hill is on the mound for the Pirates. Anthony DeSclafani, no relation to Joey, is on the bump for the San Francisco Giants. Giants minus 142 at home, plus 120 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Over under is at 8. Elvis, I'll let you lead this one off. What do you got?
Even though Rich Hill, former Red Sox great, is on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates, though, this team has just been real. Still, to be honest, I got to lean with the San Francisco Giants at home. If this was Pittsburgh about a month ago, I would have told you hammer that plus money, Bill. But this seemed the same Pittsburgh team that we saw in April, Bill. So I'm going to lean San Francisco on the money line, minus 142.
Yeah, the Pirates are coming down to earth real fast. Regression has hit them. I agree. I lean Giants here at home. It's getting up there in price where I don't really want to back DeSclafani at this big of a number. I kind of like the under 8 a little more. I like both pitchers in Hill and DeSclafani. Rich Hill on the road this season. He's been good, 3-1 with a 2.31 ERA, 26 strikeouts, batters hitting 211 off of him. And DeSclafani, he hasn't had the best luck at home this season, but 4 of his 5 starts at home have gone under this number. The Pirates, they don't hit righties good at all. The Giants have been an under team this whole season. So I think we see a lower scoring game. I do lean Giants, but I also like the under just a little more in this game. So that's going to be the way I play it. Ooh, look at this game. Atlanta Braves on the road taking on the Oakland Athletics. The return of Michael Soroka. We haven't seen him since 2020. And the return of Paul Blackburn. 2 pitchers getting their first start of the year. 240 favorite for the Atlanta Braves. You want to take them on the run line. That's even juicy as well. Minus 1.5 is at minus 154. Plus 198 for the Oakland Athletics. Plus 1.5 is at plus 128. Over under is at 9. Elvis, this one was bad. I got an 8 over yesterday. It's a little up there now, which I wouldn't play. Honestly, it's a stay away. This game was tough to handicap. You got 2 guys making their first start of the season. We really don't know what we're going to get from either of them. Soroka hasn't pitched in 2.5 years. Paul Blackburn hasn't pitched since last August. And Paul Blackburn was a guy you wanted to back on the road, not at home. He was awful at home last season. You can't imagine either of them really going much deep into the game as well. They'll probably be on a pitch count. So I see some runs here. We saw Atlanta last night in Sunday Night Baseball break out and score a bunch of runs over the Phillies. So I take an over, if anything. Let them have the worst bullpen in the league. I think the Braves could score a bunch of runs in this game. So I'll be on the over, if anything, but I can't back either side. It's just too much.
Still, last year, I know you forgot, I was cashing my boy Blackburn. He's back. Give me Blackburn over 3.5 strikeouts in the game. I'm a lean. First 5 plus half a run. Atlanta plus 118. I think Blackburn does some damage, though. I think he throws a couple strikeouts in the first 4 or 5 innings, holds it down. Like you said, Atlanta coming off Sunday Night Baseball, put up a ton of runs. Golson, couple home runs. A lot of errors by the Phillies. Phillies just had a bad team, but we saw a ton of runs scored by Atlanta late at night, Bill. I think they come off. They start a little slow. Athletics took a small lead in the first 5, and then they blow it in the late game. Give me Blackburn over 3.5 Ks, and honestly, give me the Athletics first 5 plus half a run as well, plus 118. Though that's how I'm taking it.
We do like to fade the teams playing Sunday night, especially in a travel situation. They're going from the East Coast all the way to Oakland. So travel situation, even though they are playing at night, but I do like the angle here. I mean, I can't lay 240 with the Braves. I don't care how good they are. So I agree with that play. Let's go out to the South Side. Chicago White Sox hosting the Los Angeles Angels. White Sox minus 136 at home. Los Angeles Angels plus 116. Over under is at 9. Elvis, how are you gonna play this one?
I gotta lean with the Anaheim Angels on this one, Dill. To be honest, Canning is on the mound. I'm gonna be honest. I gotta lean the plus 116, Dill, on the money line here. I just think the better team at plus money, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, ugly game. I probably won't be betting it, but gun to my head, like you, I'd probably take the plus money with the Angels. I don't necessarily like Griffin Canning, but I do trust their bats of the Angels a little more than I trust the White Sox. You know, Angels, they rake away from home, and White Sox, they really don't hit righties that well. Plus, I mentioned it with the Athletics, the worst bullpen. The second worst bullpen in the league is the White Sox. We saw them yesterday in the bottom of the ninth with Joe Kelly blow a lead. They wind up losing in extra. So I can't trust them even if they have the lead. You know, White Sox, they're under 500 at home straight up this season. So, like you, I'll take a flyer with the plus money with the Angels. Why not? And I like that they're the Anaheim Angels. Last two games on the board. Los Angeles Dodgers hosting the Washington Nationals. Dodgers minus 250 on the money line. Minus 1.5 is at minus 122 for the Nationals. Plus 205. Plus 1.5 is at plus 102. Over under is at 9. Are we throwing a bone here with the Nationals on the road over $2?
Still at plus 210. I'm gonna be honest, you can't. It's tempting, Dill, to be honest, but I think the Dodgers are finally, looking like the Dodgers once again. Dill, the bats are heating up, the pitching is finally, catching up. At the end, it's the Nationals, Dill. If this was like, somebody a little better, I would have told you take the plus, but I think the Dodgers are finally turning it around, Dill. They're finally 10 games above 500 as well. Like I said on last show, Dill, this one when it's time when teams look the way they look, or they finally start taking off, Dill. So we're gonna see who's for real, who's not. Let's see if the Dodgers are for real.
Yes, sir. I agree. Last game on the slate, Seattle Mariners hosting the New York Yankees. The Mariners minus 134 on the money line, plus 116 for the New York Yankees. Over under is at 8. I couldn't come down on a side on this one. I do think the Mariners should be the favorite, but it is minus 134 is a little rich, I would say. I think I need a better number. I took the first 5 under 4.5. Bryce Miller has looked fantastic this season, especially at home. He hasn't allowed a run in 12 innings pitched at home. And one of those outings was against the Astros because a knock on Bryce Miller. Oh, he's pitching against the Tigers. He's pitching against the Athletics. Okay, well, he did it against the defending champs, the Astros. So he's also going deep into the games, which I like. He's pitched 6 to 7 innings per start. You love to see that with a young guy as well. And, this is going to be Domingo Germán's first start after suspension. But on the road, hasn't been bad this season. Only one bad start against the Twins. But aside from that start, he hasn't allowed 3 runs in any start on the road. I think both pitchers, they're going to be locked in. I think Domingo Germán's going to want to set the tone early on after being suspended. So I think we see a tight one in the first half. I'll take the first 5 under 4.5. How about you?
Dill, I ended up staying away from this matchup, Dill. Let's just be honest. I do think the Yankees are live dogs in this scenario, but fuck them. So I'm going to stay away from it, but bias aside, because everybody knows I'm a Red Sox fan. If I wasn't a Red Sox fan, I'll sprinkle something on the Yankees.
All right, Elvis, good luck on the Diamonds. Hopefully we catch some money to put on for Game 7 tonight. But before we get to Game 7, let us get paid. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf or an elderberry this Memorial Day weekend, it doesn't matter. Our flavors pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, let's get to it. Game 7 tonight, back at the TD Garden. Opened up 9-point favorites. It's come down +7. I do see 7.5s out there, so shop around. But for the book that I'm looking at, we'll go with 7.5. Celtics laying 7.5 on the money line, -300. Over under is at 203.5. So they're expecting a low, tight, gritty game. Elvis, who wins and who covers? Big difference.
You're asking me questions that I wasn't ready for, Dill. I had plays ready, but let me answer those questions first, Dill. I'm trying to take my heart from it. The Boston Celtics will win this game, Dill. I think we witness history. I think we see the first team in 150 tries. At the 150, because remember, teams are 149-0 when trailing 3-0 in the series. This will be the 150th time, and for the first time, a team comes back from 3-0 Dill. So it pains me to say that just a little bit, just because I want the Celtics to lose. In all honesty, Dill, I wanted Miami to sweep these dudes. All honesty. But I think Celtics on the right side of history, Dill, and we finally witness it today, Dill. It's a shame. But give me the Boston Celtics to win the game. And to be honest, Dill, I do expect it to be a nip-and-tuck game. I do expect Miami to make it a close one. I don't expect them to fold over. I know I was joking last game. Oh, if the Celtics win Game 6, take the Celtics to win by 11 plus at plus 165. I think it's at plus 145. Be honest, that's worth a sprinkle as well, Dill, but I think Miami fights hard. I want to say we see another buzzer beater like we did in Game 6. I hope we do. I hope we see another tremendous finish like that. But Dill, I think it's going to be a tough task going up to Boston and going to win the Game 7. I understand they did a Game 1 and 2, Dill, but in Game 7.
So that's your play. You're going to lay the 7 with the Celtics?
No, like I said, I have 2 plays, and none of that was with your questions.
Well, go into it. Doesn't matter. Go into it.
I had 2 official plays to this matchup. Is one prop, and then one I usually never do this, but guess what, people? I'm trying to win some money today, and this is the best way to do it. I think the Celtics come out, they start firing. They probably make like five threes in the first quarter. I think the Celtics started off, and I think the Miami Heat settle down and come right back in the second quarter. So my official play in this one will give me Miami Heat plus 1.5 points in the second quarter. I think they win the second quarter, make it a close game at halftime. I do expect the Celtics to come out firing in all cylinders because they're rolling. They're rolling right now. So I do expect the Celtics to come out firing in the first quarter. Give me Miami plus 1.5 in the second quarter. And then give me Grant Williams over 6.5 points at minus 105.
He fucked us last game.
He fucked you. He didn't fuck me. Last game, he only had 1 point. I think he went 0 for 5 from the field.
Bum.
I expect him to make a few shots and a couple of free throws in Game 7 at home. Probably a 3 or 2, and then, a layup here or there or a putback. So I expect him to be anywhere from 8 to 10 points still. Give me Grant Williams over 6.5 points just because. And he's playing 20 plus minutes a night, Dill. He's going to put some points up on the board. And then Miami, second quarter, plus 1.5 at plus 100.
So for the side, I got to take the 7.5 just because too many points. It's too many points. 7.5. I don't think they're that. I don't see a blowout happening. I just don't see it. I think the Heat can build off of what they had late in the fourth quarter. They did some things right, even though they didn't box out and ultimately get the win. I do think they could build off of that. I think Jimmy Butler in elimination games is going to take over. I don't think he's going to come out of the game. That's why I lean over his points, 28.5. An elimination game last year, he dropped 47. And I also lean his assists under. I don't think he's a facilitator this game. I think he needs the ball in his hands. And I just don't I know I keep saying it, but I just don't trust this Boston Celtic team in a close game. Yeah, they got the job done, but like you said, luck had a lot to do with that. Bouncing their way right to Derek White. If it bounced another way, we're not even talking about it.
Literally just like 3 inches to the right, 3 inches forward.
Yeah.
If it just bounces like 3 inches higher and then
it
comes back down, he doesn't have enough time.
So I think a lot of luck had to do with that as well. And we know, and not even just last game, this whole series or this whole playoffs, the Celtics are not good at home. They're 5-5 against the spread, and they're not good in close games. Heat thrive in close games. I just think the Heat are going to win this game. I don't want to touch the money line because I have them to come out of the East, but I'm going to take the 7 in my pocket.
This should be a point because I know a lot of people hedge.
Yeah, no, I'm not hedging.
You got the plus 500 in your back pocket, though.
I know. I'm not hedging.
500 in your back pocket.
I know, but I'm all in. I'm no hedging. I'm all in.
It could be a win-win, my boy.
I know, but I can't. I'm not in the business to back a Boston team. Let's just say that.
I want them to lose personally what they did to Ide Madoku, but
that too. But and it's also surprising growing up. You're a Boston fan, you know, you're a Patriot, but I always thought I knew why you were a Devil fan, but I always thought why isn't he a Celtic fan? You like all Boston sports, but you don't like the Celtics, which is very confusing for me. So
I'm not gonna say I hate the Celtics, but I was never the biggest Paul Pierce fan. I think that's what it came down to, you know, and especially when the Celtics got to the big three formed in 2007, 2008.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that, you know. I didn't at first. I liked what I was seeing, but to be honest, I was rooting for the Lakers in those finals. So
yeah,
that's really what it is. I've always been a Nets fan. My favorite player is Vince Carter. Anybody, if you know me, I'll tell you Vince Carter is a top 5 player. I don't care what you say. And J.R. Smith is up there as well. You know, Vince Carter is arguably the greatest player of all time. So that's why the main reason I became a Nets fan. If Vince Carter would have went to the Celtics, I might have been a Celtics fan. But Vince Carter just happened to go to the Nets, and I became a Nets fan. If he never became a Net, I probably would have became a Raptors fan, Dale. I would literally became a Nets fan just because Vince Carter. Just because
Vinsanity.
Yeah.
Remember when I'll never forget this play? I was watching it with my grandparents one day. It was back when we were young, when I think maybe his first or second year in, at the time, New Jersey, where they were playing the Heat. Vince Carter saved the inbounds ball, put it behind his back, and dunked it on Haslam.
Alonzo Mourning.
Oh my God!
Mourning.
I said, yo, who is this cat? He's going crazy right now.
I'm pretty sure that was the year the Heat went to win the finals.
You know why I'm a Knicks fan?
Not Melo. That's before. I'm going to take a guess. What was happening when we was young with the Knicks?
Nothing, really. It's been a disappointing.
Marbury?
I like Stephon Marbury. He was cool. He was great.
Dude.
I liked it. I liked the team that we had. It was weird. I was New Jersey everything, and I was such a proponent on hey, we only have one team. We got to be for the team or for the state's team. But I don't know. I just always liked the Mecca. I thought it was the best. And then when Melo came in, I was a Syracuse guy, and Melo put it over the top for me. So we never gave him his flowers. He's really the reason why really stayed a Knicks fan, because I was low-key almost becoming a Net fan just because they were getting everyone. They were the ex-New Jersey team, and then they got their version of the big three. So I was oh, but then they got Melo.
Williams, Joe Johnson, bro, we had that was literally an all 2K team. Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett.
And didn't win the championship.
In 2K, 12, that team is winning it all. That team winning 82
games. Well, Elvis, thank you so much. Any other plays before we get out of here for Memorial Day weekend?
That's it, people. That's it. Let's enjoy this Game 7. I understand earlier I said the best 2 words in sports is Super Bowl and conference championship game. Game 7 is right there. Game 7 is right there. Like I said, this was Game 7, the finals.
Have you ever been to a Game 7?
Been witness? No. I wish. I don't got
on a bucket list. Oh, you got money. Stop running to the layers.
Super Bowl. I would definitely attend a Super Bowl or a conference championship game before Game 7. Because if I'm going to spend let's just say more than $1,000 on a basketball game, I either have to one go see the Nets in the championship game or go see LeBron.
Is the best or like the most deepest thing, I guess, farthest game you've seen your team last year's playoffs with the Boston Red Sox? So like
2021, I went to see the Red Sox versus the Astros in the
ALDS or CS?
ALCS game 3.
And you guys won that game.
We won that game. Carl Swartzberg hit a grand slam, deep right field. I was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Biggest game I went to, I think it was 2012, 2013, 2011. It was one of those, our freshman, sophomore, junior year when Villanova went to the Final Four. My sister was a cheerleader for Villanova, and I went to Indianapolis, and I saw us lose to North Carolina Tar Heels when they wind up winning the whole thing. But, yeah.
I would have, to be honest, though, I know I went to ALCS game 3, but my biggest game, I'll be honest, I saw Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes still.
Yeah, old GOAT versus new GOAT.
Oh, yeah, I seen that. And the game literally came down to the last play of the game, and we lost. The Patriots lost.
That's a good game.
When Tom Brady tried to throw a touchdown to Edelman in the back of the end zone with like 50 seconds left, and we ended up losing. So I was one of the few people in this world that could say they saw Brady and Mahomes.
Wow. I got to do that one day. I still haven't seen Brady. That is...
It's over. You're never going to see him.
I'm never going to see him. What are you going to do? But Elvis, thank you so much. That is going to do it for this Monday edition of The Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys in a few days. Make sure you guys follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at The Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We're also on YouTube, so go over there and subscribe and like there. Yeah, and leave a review. Literally, it takes 5 seconds when you're rating us. So, everyone, thank you so much. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't even be able to be doing this podcast right now. So, I appreciate everyone. We will see you guys on Saturday. So, be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe. Be well. Peace.